Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and I'm getting to a game I've had for a while but have not played, and I'm really enjoying it now. This is Skies Above Britain. And disclaimer that I was sent a review copy of this one. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So Skies Above Britain is a solo-only game depicting the Battle of Britain, trying to win as the RAF and stop German bombers. And the game has a sort of tutorialish situation manual that slowly walks you through more and more complex missions, adding more things onto the gameplay. What I'm showing you today to give you a quick but fairly comprehensive look at the game is Scenario 11. This is the last learning scenario before you're playing the whole campaign. So you're going to get to see dogfights and attacking bombers, and the overall use of this interception map, which governs kind of the larger battle going on. The only main things you'll be missing is the raid level of play, which starts these interceptions, and also the campaign, which, to be honest, is a ton of fun in the game, where you are leveling up your pilots and getting them better as they score more kills and dealing with attrition and all that kind of stuff. So there's a pretty good amount of stuff going on here. I'll try to explain it as clearly as I can. Let's get into it. So first, let's show you the setup. The interception map is centered around the bomber formation. These are German bombers. In this case, the scenario has told me they are Stukas, so light bombers, which affects which deck you use and some other things when you get into combat with them. And they have their own bomber section over here where they're all joined together. And my mission in this one is to break up their formation, basically separate out these sets of planes, and also destroy as many of them as I can, while taking damage to as few of my planes as possible. And by the way, if you notice, so there's a red token missing over here. I can't find it right now. I'm not sure where I put it. It's really annoying me, but it's fine. We really don't need it. It's not a big deal. But yeah, so I'm starting with a full squadron of 12 ships. They are further divided into A flight and B flight with 6 planes each, and then red section, yellow section, blue section, and green section with 3 planes each. And on the board, currently, they start out as one big squadron. Again, the bombers are here in the center. And very importantly, we've got heavy escorts, 109s, that are going to try to stop us from messing with the bombers. And they're in the high station. They can be on these little Nazi flag symbol places here. And yeah, they're going to make our lives heck. We also have the sun. Sometimes you're in clouds, sometimes you're in the sun. And this is a tail high sun, which means it's giving these planes the status of being in the sun, which makes them even nastier. It's just not a good situation. Now, I can break down the squadron into flights. I can break it down even more into the individual sections, and that'll allow us to kind of give them different orders. And that's the first step of the interception sequence. I need to assign orders, and I'm going to break them down into flights as I do this. So there are 3 main orders you can give them. You can give them a cruise order, which is going to basically have them move to a different position and potentially go to high elevation, because right now they start at low. That's the default, which gives them a lot of bonuses as they kind of dive down onto the bombers and such. But if you try to move while the escort is there, there's a good chance they'll attack you in the course of that movement. You can also do a bomber action, which is going to have your planes try to get into the bomber formation where you can actually achieve your objectives. Or you can target the escorts themselves and try to weaken them while distracting them potentially so your other planes can get in. And that is what I'm going to try, sort of a basic strategy here. I'm going to have Flight A go for the bombers and B Flight go for the escorts. And once I've assigned my orders, I'm going to resolve them. Escorts always go first, then bomber orders go second, and then cruise orders go third, because the success of the escort order is going to determine whether my bombers have a better chance of getting in there or not. And this is a game with a lot of tables and rolling and decks of cards. And here we're going to be checking the intercepting escorts table. And first you find where you are. We are currently in the port position, which along with the starboard position is a flank position. In this scenario, I'm flying Hurricanes, one of 2 planes you can fly along with Spitfires, and these are ME-109s. You can also face off against 110s as escorts. And they're going to have different stats for everything. Okay, so my formation is in low formation. I'm against 109s, and I have to find where they are. They're in high formation, one of the best defensive positions to be in. So look at this. I need to roll a 12, and I need to spend a fuel regardless to try to get them from the flank. This is on a D12, by the way. Now, this is not going to determine whether I fight them or not. I'll definitely fight them, but if I can get the 12, then I'll have the advantage in how those fights start, whereas if I don't, which is highly likely, then I won't have the advantage. Now, you do get an advantage if you're coming out of the sun, so if I was like over here in the tail position, then you can roll 2 dice and add them together, which of course will make getting something like a 12 a lot easier. And also for these types of rolls, when you're trying to like catch something, you can spend an extra fuel to reroll. Fuel track is tracked up here for each of the sections. So here it's B section, so that's blue and green. So they both go down one. If your planes get down to vapor, then they have to return to base, which means they can't accomplish anything else. And yeah, let's try going for that 12. Not too likely. Nope. And I'm definitely not going to waste fuel to reroll it because I know it's not going to happen. All right, so I don't move B yet. They don't go to where the patrol is. But what I'm going to do is resolve some dogfights for blue and green, see if they survive and can do some damage. And then I'm going to roll on this escort suppression table. If I roll well, I might weaken the escort for the rest of the scenario. But even if I roll kind of low, I should hopefully suppress them, which means they won't mess with Flight A as they move into the bombers. All right, so whenever you get into a dogfight, you resolve the entire thing for each group. So it kind of pauses play with everything else. It's called the dogfight cycle, so we'll go ahead and do it for blue first. So we're drawing these Luftwaffe advantage cards. I guess we can go ahead and draw it for each. And they have the advantage because we did not roll the 12. If we'd gotten the 12, we would have gotten an RAF advantage card, which tends to have us tailing behind them instead of them tailing us. Just makes things not as nasty. Now, anybody who goes into attacking the escorts automatically has what's called lost contact. And that means that they've kind of gotten away from the main attack line to get to the bombers. So to bring them back in to attack the bombers again after they've messed around with the escort will take some time in doing and take some actions. All right, so let's see what our first Luftwaffe advantage card has. So the section on the left shows how many planes I'm going to start with. Their type is determined by the token, so here it's 109s. So this is a pair of them. They're usually a pair or a group of 4. And they'll be tailing me. Wonderful. And then we also have to check this event on the right, which could affect it. Oh, this is not good. Hunt in the sun. Clear or haze only. Yes, it is a clear day with the sun. And if the escort station is in the sun, and it is, then we add another pair head-on. So we're going to be surrounded by planes. Oh, no. You just put them in relative positions. And cool. This will demonstrate how dogfighting works, for better or worse. So you're going to draw cards for each of the matchups, basically, and resolve the icons on it. So head-on always goes first. Then if somebody's on your tail, you get to maneuver, and then resolve the tailed cards. You can try to shake them off, basically. And then if you're tailing anybody, you're behind them, then you can do your thing, and you're going to see if anybody got hurt. So let's show you how that works. So there's a deck for head-on and tailing. There's a different deck for when you are tailed. I'm drawing the top card here, and I'm cross-referencing, and don't worry if this seems like a lot. It's not that bad. These are 109s, the one that doesn't have sort of the extra stuff and looks a little smaller. So I find the 109, and then I'm using the row that matches whether I have a section of 2 or 3 planes together, or if they're off by themselves, I use that bottom row. All right, and here are the results. I have to resolve these icons. I can do it in any order I want. This one means that the contact goes away. I didn't defeat these planes, but they leave. They're gone. They passed on by me in the head-on engagement. This is the worst one. That means that I have to draw a hit token on one of my planes randomly, and it potentially will die. And then this one means one of my planes is also running low on ammo. So again, I can resolve these in whatever order I want. It doesn't matter too much here. So this one is gone. And then I'll roll for who's hit. It's 5, and I'll roll for who's low on ammo. It's also 5. And that refers to these little things here. So 5 is going to be the leader in both cases. So I draw a random token, and in this case, it's not a good one. He's got an engine hit with a 9 value. I'm going to have to roll a 9 or higher on a d12 for him not to be out of the scenario and potentially dead. And he's also low on ammo, which does nothing by itself, but if he gets that result again, then he's out of ammo, and he can't attack anymore, and basically might as well go to base. By the way, you'll see the even and odd down here. If I had only 2 planes in the section, then you would use even or odd to determine whether it's left or right. All right, so that was not great. And now I said you can use a maneuver, and then I'm going to resolve this person who is tailing us. Negative thing is, if any of your planes are damaged, basically because of a head-on engagement like that, then you can't use a maneuver. But hopefully green will let me show you how they work. I'm sure we'll have some more dogfights. But yeah, basically, if I had been able to do a maneuver, I could do some stuff that might help me out. But here I just got to deal with being tailed. So exact same thing. I've got a section of hurricanes. And all right, so this symbol would have gone with the maneuvers. If I'd picked specific maneuvers, then that would have benefited me. Instead, though, I'm getting shot again, and those planes are gone. All right, so we survived the engagement. We didn't do anything effective, and 2 of our planes might be dead, but it could be worse. All right, and okay, it's 1. I was kind of hoping to be the same plane because multiple damage doesn't really make a difference. Oh, Jesus, it's another 9 engine? Okay. All right, so after resolving all the head-on, tailing, tailed things, drawing cards for all of those, then you have a hit check. So now I'm going to roll against each of these people and see if the damage is actually severe or not. And again, it means I need a 9 or higher. So roll for the leader in the center. Nope. And we'll roll for the guy on the left. Hey, okay, cool. So at least one of them survived. So the leader with low ammo, the low ammo doesn't matter anymore. He comes out of the formation, but this token just goes away. This one also goes back in the bag or the cup, whatever you're using. And the leader goes on what's called the Fate track, in this case for engine damage. And at the end of this scenario, we would roll to see what happened to them. Doesn't matter as much in a one-off scenario like this. I'm already getting negative points towards my victory for him being in a Fate box in general. But in the campaign, him getting back to the hangar or crashing and burning would have obviously a major impact. But hey, 2 of them survived. That could have been worse. Let's see how green does. So they've got a head-on pair. And gosh darn it, there are other cards in this. We have another hunt in the sun, so we have another person tailing them. Wonderful. So hey, you've seen this before. Let's see how the head-on one does first. Hey, this is way better, way, way better. Okay, so this little reticule symbol here is us hitting them. It's the best thing you want to see. In this case, it reduces them down to 1. And then they go away anyway. So why does it matter that we reduce them down to 1? That would count as a kill for whichever plane I would roll to see who actually killed them, and I would track that in the campaign, and they would slowly become an ace as they defeated more people. We're not doing any of that in a one-off scenario, but just to understand. And also, you're going to see in a second, my escort suppression check is going to be better if I defeated at least one plane. So that was great. But then they go away anyway. One of us gets low ammo. And this G is going to have an effect on only a green pilot, which again is only in the campaign where you have green and veteran and ace. We're not going to worry about that. So who's low on ammo? It's number 3. Hey, this is great. Now I can actually show you maneuvers. So you have 3 choices for maneuvers when you are being tailed and nobody is hurt. You can slip, turn, and evade. Turn tries to make them be in front of you to make it a head-on engagement. Slip tries to get one of your fighters behind them, so you lose some unit cohesion, but to then be able to tail them. And evade tries to just kind of make them go away. You get to draw 2 cards and pick which one you resolve, and also they get reduced by 1 automatically, so there's a higher chance they'll just leave you alone. We're going to do that, I think. Because I already defeated 1 plane for the bonus, so there's nothing else to really achieve here except not dying. All right, so I draw 2 tailed cards, and a lot of the icons here do represent those maneuvers I just mentioned. If there's a little turning one here, then when you turn, you resolve only that, and that's kind of like how the turn goes, and you resolve any icons inside of it. And the slip one, if this one shows up in your result, then you resolve the slip successfully and nothing else happens. Okay, but none of that applies here, so what am I looking at? This sucks. I can either take 1 hit and lose a fuel, and I would take another hit if somebody was green, or I can take 2 hits. Well, I guess I'm going to do the 1 hit, and green will go down a fuel. All right, let's see who is hit. It is 6, my leader. Let's try not to draw a 9 this time. Cockpit 9. What the frick, man? There aren't other numbers in here. They're like 4s and 5s, y'all. Okay, but they are reduced 1 automatically, so there's only 1 plane still after me, which unfortunately is not 0. So I'm going to roll, see if my leader is out. Ooh! Oh, man, I wish I had that for that other roll. But yes, he's around. Good. Okay, and now because I'm still engaged, we're going to do it all again. And yeah, I think I'll just evade again because that way this guy will definitely be gone no matter what, since he'll get reduced down to nothing in a second. Gosh, again. Yeah, I mean, 1 hit in fuel, I guess. Green's going to be low on fuel, not too helpful. But yeah, he's going to be reduced in any case. And let's see who the hit's on. It's on number 2. And hey, there's something a little bit easier. A wing, we just need a 5 or higher. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so except for running a little low on fuel, green actually came out great, and they did destroy 1 plane, which will matter in a second. Blue's not looking quite as good, but that's okay. Here's to show you there is green compared to the rest. And all right, now the super important part. Did any of that matter? So we check what type of escort it is, which is a heavy level escort. And then we check how many people we sent against them at the start, even if some got defeated. So here we had 6 planes going after them. So I'm going to roll a d12. If I get a 5 or higher, they'll be suppressed, so they won't mess with A, attacking the bombers. And if I get a 9 or higher, I'll reduce them down to a light escort, which is huge. That would make everything easier for the rest of the mission. And I do get a +1 because at least 1 German fighter was destroyed. I don't think it matters if you destroy more than 1. I think it's always just a flat +1. So I really need an 8 and a 4. And there's no mitigation to reroll this one. Man, it'd be great to reduce. Yes, freaking go. Okay, that is awesome. Because now the escort is going to be so much less dangerous the rest of the game. All right, so they are reduced and they are suppressed. So they're not going to exist basically for Bomber A as they go in for their run. And as I mentioned, regardless of how things went, all of B is in lost contact. So they're kind of out of position, and they'll have to, at the end of the round, you'll see, try to chase and like get back on the map to actually help out. All right, so that went way better than it should have. I feel kind of optimistic now. So we're going to attack the bombers next. And it's a similar thing. We find the table that corresponds. We're coming from the flank. We are low. And we would have, look at this, to successfully get to the bombers and not just fight the escorts, we would have had to do for 109s an 11 or 12. Instead, we just need to get a 7. We're going to spend 1 fuel automatically, and we can spend another fuel to reroll. You can only do that once. The second result is a set. And if we were coming out of the sun, we would again be able to roll like 2 dice or get other bonuses. So we need a 7. We're spending a fuel. Let's see how it goes. And that's red and yellow. Come on, 7. Ooh, let's go. Okay, this is going great. This is the most successful I've been in the scenario so far. All right, so the escorts don't get to do anything because they were suppressed. We go into the bomber formation, so this A is going to break all up. They're not going to be a nice flight anymore. Once you're with the bombers, it's kind of every plane for itself. So let's put out our Stukas. And we just take everybody. And we're about to do some bomber combats. I'll show you how that works. And we are all coming from the port side, so we have to initially be attacking them on their flank, which is sort of the least effective way to attack, but also the safest. We're the least likely to get hurt too. And this takes us into the bomber cycle. Unlike the dogfight cycle, you do not keep going until you finish resolving it. You basically do 1 round worth of stuff when you first move into the bombers. And then at the end of each round, you're going to have what's called the entropy phase, where you'll get to do another round of combat. So things could happen. The escorts could show up and like defend the bombers again. Should be fun. Okay, so first we have our approach. We get to pick where we are going. And there are some advantages and disadvantages you might have if you're coming from the nose or the tail, but here none of that applies. And I'm going to freely assign these to individual bombers. So this is a contiguous group that's going to give them defensive benefits. Remember, for victory, I want to break them up. And if I can just get this central one out of formation, these ones will automatically be non-contiguous as well. So I really want to hammer the middle here. So let's, I don't know, let's just double up. And I've red and yellow combine their forces. So we're getting 2 attackers on each bomber in the center. We'll see how that goes. And I get to resolve these one at a time, even though it's maybe a little weird thematically for something that should be simultaneous. I will get benefits as things go. So like if the first fighter manages to break this tile apart, then the other fighters will have an easier time because they'll be less defensive. They won't get the bonuses from being together. So let's just go. Let's count down, I guess. Maybe we'll do like 1 fighter time. So let's do yellow leader first. And once again, this is resolved by a card. I'm using the light deck because I'm going against Stuka bombers. That's the only type. All the rest use a medium deck instead. And it's very similar. I'm going to draw a card. I use where I am coming from, in this case from the flank, starboard or port, and I give them the row that matches their current configuration. This is for contiguous, where they're all connected like they are now. This is if they are still a combined tile, even if they've broken apart. And this is if I'm attacking a single bomber that is off from the rest of the group. And this is a great result. This is probably the best result I could have gotten. I'm going to hit them once, so I'll draw a damage token for them. For the enemy planes, you saw that they just get flipped and they get damaged automatically. For the bombers, you got to hit them a lot of times to actually kill them. Somebody's going to be, not somebody. This time it's just yellow leader. Yellow leader is going to be low on ammo. So let's resolve those things first, and I'll explain the last icon. Ooh, this is a great one. So this is a different bag or different cup of tokens. Each of the damage tokens has a Spitfire and Hurricane side. I'm flying Hurricane, so I use that. So there's an engine hit, which is friggin' great. Glad I finally hit their engine instead of hitting mine. So first, let me tell you how this would normally work, because it is a kind of a special result. Normally, you just put the token on them, and you need multiple tokens to blow up the bomber. And some hit tokens will have something like this. You see this 11 here. I would roll a die, and if I get an 11 or higher, then I get this bonus icon as an additional thing. That's a fallen icon, which means this bomber basically comes out from the rest of the group and is isolated and way easier to kill. But sometimes there is no number, and you just get that for free. So this bomber's engine is weak, and he can't keep up with the rest of the pack, so he would fall off. And all the people engaged with him would go with him. So like I'd have a separate little token. Here you go, like this, and it would have the damage on it, and we'd still be attacking him. And we'd mark, boom, to show that he's like not part of that formation anymore. But none of that is happening because Stukas are way easier to kill than the other 3 types of bombers. They get destroyed with 3 of any damage token, or a cockpit token that always kills everybody, or a single E engine token. Whereas you'll see for these ones, you need 3 or 2 to destroy them. So yeah, that was wild. I don't think I've ever gotten a one-shot kill, but I also haven't gone against Stukas very much, so that makes sense. All damage tokens go back in the bag when they're used. I'm glad that's back in there. And let's not forget Yellow Leader has low ammo. And then here's a really important one, and definitely a good one for me, this 6 with little like planes flying away. That's called disruption, and that's what I was looking for. That's how you break these things up. So what you do is you count the number of planes anywhere on the contiguous group of your planes, and also the number of tokens, could be destroyed tokens or fallen tokens or damaged tokens, anywhere in all the contiguous pieces. So not just here, but also there and there. And in this case, if it's 6 or higher, then I separate out this tile just like I wanted to. So boom, now they are all separated. I've already completed one part of my mission. This is the best. This is the smoothest the game has ever gone. I tell y'all, the last time I played this, everyone died. So this is kind of feeling good. Yay. All right, now, importantly, number 2, that's attacking the dead bomber. This is one part where the rules do sort of make it simultaneous. I have to draw a bomber card for them using the same row as before, so even though they're destroyed, I still count them as part of the contiguous group. And, oh, this is still a great roll. I mean, a great draw. And I ignore any hit results, but I resolve anything else, like they might have gotten hit back or something, so kind of like 2 was getting shot as Leader blew up that bomber. But here, yeah, nothing bad happened. That was awesome. Okay, so that resolves both of them. Here, I guess I can bring this a little bit closer. Let's go ahead and see if we can break away these other dudes. Oh, and really, at this point, this doesn't matter. They can just disengage because they always have to move on. The only time your plane can like stay where it is and keep attacking the same bomber without doing anything else is if they are tailing behind them. All right, so let's go and resolve, I don't know, the leader did great. Let's go red leader on this right guy. Okay, now we are using the middle row. This is a great result, too. So this plus is a dorsal gunner hit. It counts as 1 basic damage, even though you don't draw it from the bag. So I would need 2 more to like destroy this bomber entirely. But the really cool thing is that bombers do have rear gunners. So when you're tailing them, you're actually often in a more dangerous position to get return fire and get hit. But when somebody has this result, you ignore any hits from return fire. You still have to draw a token because other things might happen. But yeah, it makes it way easier to like finish them off. Okay, then this one here is called Distress. It's basically the equivalent of the Disruption one here, except for when it's on a tile. And once again, I'm counting number of hit tokens, 1 plus number of planes on the tile, only 4 now. These dudes aren't there, or are they still there? Actually, you know what? I think they are supposed to stay there until the end, so that's still 6. But yeah, I mean, it didn't matter here. It's 4, so that means that this plane is now fallen. It's the same thing I showed you before. It is out. That also, by the way, means this one is isolated now. We'll use that easiest row there. Because if they're by themselves and they're not contiguously connected, then you get to count them as isolated. If it was still part of the big group of tiles, even though it's by itself, it would still get the better bonus. All right, so this dude's here. Here's their 1 out of 3 damage. Yeah, that was a fabulous result, too. All right, let's see how number 3 does. Go ahead and keep going with this one. And, oh, they get a hit, but they're low on ammo. Heck yes. So we need 1 cockpit, 1 engine, or 2 more of anything else. In this case, yeah, it's just a wing. No numbers or anything, so that does nothing on its own. But 1 more hit, and that dude is dead no matter what. All right, and we have these ones. Let's start with red 2. And remember, I'm using the, another one. So dorsal gunner hit and low ammo. Yeah, this is just going great. Oh, sorry. This, I think it's the same. Yeah, that's right. They had said they had like 2 different types of icons that didn't actually end up mattering after they printed the game. So it's all good. Okay, and yellow 3. Another dorsal hit, which doesn't like further degrade the dorsal, but does count as another hit. So they only need 1 more damage, and he's also low ammo. You do tend to be running out of ammo pretty quickly. All right, fantastic bombing run. All right, so now we disengage, which means all these bombers just kind of go off and do their own thing, and they can like choose who to go after next time. Although if they go for the front or back of a plane, then there's kind of like a delay, and they won't attack that round. You might see how that happens in a second. Then after all that, we would do a hit check. If any of us had gotten damaged, again, that was a blessed run, so no. And we go back to wherever we were, so we finish the interception sequence. But oh, we're not done. Hey, entropy phase. We're going to do the bomber stuff again, but then we'll have escort, reaction, and chase. I'll show you what that means in a second. That's what we want to do. We could go after these other dudes. We could try to finish them off. Clearly, the mission wanted us to break up their formation and kill as many as possible. So the low ammo ones should be good enough to finish these people off. So I'm going to send this one to attack from the rear because, again, with their dorsal gunner gone, it's going to be super safe. But when you want to attack from the head or the rear, it takes a little while to get there. So you put a delay token on the plane. And that means they don't actually do anything this round. In the next entropy phase, they'll get to actually attack, but that'll be really safe for them. And I'm going to do the same thing with another low ammo one coming against this guy since they don't have dorsal gunners. Might be a little bit overkill, and I could probably just go for them now, but I figure let's be safe. Although, is it really safe? Because I'm giving the escort time to potentially come and attack us while we're delaying. All right, and then let's double up red and yellow with one not low ammo and one low ammo. We'll come in from the side for these guys. All right, so nothing going on with the delay. We just have to resolve these four. Let's start with the reds. And we got a tile coming from starboard. Ooh, a 3. That's great. We don't take a hit because none of us are green. So this guy is already fallen. That was pretty easy. Okay, and might as well go and do the other red. So now they're by themselves, so he is out of ammo. He's going to head home in a second, but we did get another hit. Or not another hit, this is a new plane. We got another engine. Wow, we were doing great. Stukas are easy to kill. All right, that was fantastic. Let's go and see how yellow. We'll start with yellow leader, the low ammo one. And 3. We actually do have 3 because you count the number of fighters. They aren't on there, but these two are. And destroyed or fallen ones count. So this guy becomes fallen too. And that again means that this dude is all isolated. Okay, that was the leader. Let's go for 2. And we get a hit, but he's low ammo. Yeah, Stukas really clearly need their protection of their escort. Oh, wait, what am I doing? That's fallen, and that's the plane. Okay, and he's got wing damage. All right, that is it for all of them, so they're about to be out of the way anyway. And, those guys are still delaying to come in for the attack, so that's going to be it. All right, now we're going to do the escort reaction. And by the way, you only do anything in the entropy phase if you have at least some people attacking the bombers or if you have at least some people that have lost contact and are trying to get back in. So we're going to draw an escort card. So they look like this. And first we check for a cloud escape. We're in a sunny scenario, so that doesn't apply. But if there were clouds, they would roll in on 11 or 12. Everybody who had lost contact would basically be out of the scenario. They could not possibly catch up at that point. Doesn't apply here. Next, we check to see if the escorts come in. So if they had escorts in these particular locations where there are little card icons, that would be how many cards I would draw as Luftwaffe advantage cards to come in and attack my people attacking the bombers, which clearly would not be great for us. But first of all, there is no card icon in the high station, but also they're suppressed, so it wouldn't have applied anyway. And now, are you kidding me? Yo, this is stupid. This game is a lot harder. I'm just getting lucky. This is a reduction only applying to 109s, only in this position, which means they don't have an escort anymore. What? We didn't have a very good fight against those 109s. They must have gotten, I don't know, distracted or lost the planes by accident or something. And then there also could be some moving of escorts. That's what the arrows mean. And some cards are going to have an ambush effect. That would be, I think it's down here, where you would roll and potentially have people get ambushed. That does, by the way, mean that we're still going to keep on drawing these cards in future rounds, because the ambush could still mean that planes come in and attack our people, even though they are suddenly escortless. Wow. Okay, now finally, let's not forget about B flight. They get to chase. So people that are in the lost contact, they have 3 options. They can just return to base, which clearly we're not going to do. They can reform if they're like individual planes, because that might make it more effective as they try to do things on the map. But here we're still in sections, so they can do the final option, which is to chase. And chase means a different thing if they're together in a flight or section, or if they're instead individual planes. If they're together as a flight or section, they're going to come back out on the map in one of these positions. But if I break them up, which I can choose to do right now, and if they successfully chase in that case, they're going to go straight into the bomber formation to help attack the bombers. And here's the table right here. So because visibility is clear and there is no escort, so I need to roll a 7 on a die to successfully chase. If there had been a light or heavy escort, then I would have had a lower number to actually reach the bombers. But if I rolled these grayer numbers, 1 through 3 or 1 through 4, I would instead fight the escort. Now, it might seem obvious that I should switch to individual planes because I don't need to just be on the map and waste time. But when you roll individually, you're rolling 2 dice and using the lower results. So the chance of getting a 7 is lower, but at the same time, let's go and do it, get them in the battle. So I'm going to roll for 1 at a time. Okay, I need a 7 on both dice, 7 or higher on both. Blue 2 does not make it, and blue 3 does not make it. Darn it, maybe this is a bad idea. Green 2 doesn't make it. Green lead. And last one, my only low ammo guy. Also, okay, that sucked. You know what? Let me not do that next time, maybe. Well, unfortunately, unless we use our next chase-like option turn to reform, we are now all individual planes. We can't take that out anymore. We have broken formation. Okay, now we go to the patrol complete step. We're almost done the round. So we have to all lose 1 fuel, which is honestly not that bad. Okay, and then we would remove suppress markers if the escorts hadn't just mysteriously vanished. Escort exit and channel patrol only when you're playing a fuller scenario with raids, because then you're moving along this raid track and different things are happening. Here's where we would reform if we had chosen that during this C step of the 3 phase. Raids don't apply, and we go again. Okay, so we're repeating. And yeah, I mean, this is the prettiest scenario ever. I think I could stop now and already have the best result. In fact, maybe I should return to base. Oh, wait, I forgot. I had one person in the fate box. So you know what? Let's keep going. Let's try to destroy a few more. We're in a pretty dominant position at the moment. Okay, so I skip the order step because they have to be on the regular map to take any orders, so nothing's happening here. Which means I skip the intercept step too, because there's no escorting or bombers or anything. So we just go straight to entropy. All right, so the delay is now getting the tail. This delay guy is now getting them in the tail. Oh, I'm going to have red 2 go back to base, because they've got no ammo anyway. And you just put them on the track underneath their current fuel level. Again, it doesn't matter in the scenario, but in other stuff it does. All right, so what do I want to do with these 3? Let's have the guy with no low ammo attack this one, and have both of them come in on that one. That seems to make sense. All right, so bomber time. Let's do our tail ones first. So now we're on the tail. Oh my gosh, look at this. 2 hits. We don't have to draw him because he's already got 1. So 1 would have been enough. So he's dead. I am out of ammo. He's destroyed. Now here's the icon we were not seeing. That is not great. That is the return fire icon. And we still draw a regular damage. That's not too bad of a one. But we're checking the backside for what it does, because sometimes it won't actually be a hit. Now, in this case, this one is a hit. So all you do is you flip it over, and whoops, I got a wing hit, and I'd have to roll for it. But don't forget that plane had no dorsal gunner, so hits are ignored. But there could have been non-hit results on the back here. Like I could have just lost contact or had to go to base because my fuel line broke or something like that. Cool. So that was fantastic. Good job, Yellow 3. I wish I was playing the campaign. Recording all these kills would be amazing. So he'll head home in a second. All right, let's try our other Talon one here. Again, just need one more hit. Am I jammed? Gosh darn it. It's not the worst thing in the world. Basically, the next time I would get a hit, I'll roll a die. On an even, it goes through. On an odd, it's canceled, but the jam is cleared. But with me having low ammo, I might run out of ammo before that happens. I do stay on the tail. I don't have to delay again. So next entropy phase, I can attack there again. All right, but that's it for that. Let's see how Red Leader does. Coming in from the flank. Oh, he gets a hit, but he's low on ammo. All right, and just fuselage. Okay, so we're going to need more than that. Okay, and finally, these 2. Let's have Yellow Leader first. And, man, he's also jammed. All right, and Yellow other one gets a hit, but is out of ammo. I don't know if we'll be able to finish off too many more of these. Yeah, you can see it's really unlikely to get return fire when you're coming. Ooh, that's a good one. So it's a fuselage hit. It is, they need 1 more to be destroyed, but if I roll right now and get an 11 or a 12, they just die immediately. Seems unlikely, and yes, it is. All right, that was both of them. That's everybody. Yep. Okay, so that's it for the entropy phase. We draw a new escort reaction. Whoops. And see there, they would have actually attacked. If high station is empty, trailing moves. Oh, never mind. It's just summarizing. There is still no ambush. Clouds don't matter. So yeah, this is nothing. Blue and green, we haven't forgot about you. Let's chase. We're still trying to get 7s. We'll just go here. We'll do it like that, left to right. So, boop-a-doop-a-doo, nope. And doop-a-doop-a-doo, nope. And green, and this is bad. And do-do-do-do-do. And boop-boop-a-doop-boop-boo. Gosh darn it. So don't forget, I could have, to improve my odds, use their action instead of chasing to reform their sections up and turn back into their section component. And then I would just be rolling a single die and need a 7. Clearly better odds. Yeah, this is, they just are not chasing well at all. What are the chances here? It's 50% times, it's 25%. I should have been getting 1/4 of them in, so that's 10 rolls and nobody. Well, I've had so much luck elsewhere, let's not complain about it. All right, and fuel keeps on tanking. And now we go right back to our entropy phase. Yellow 2's heading home. Oh, I guess he's got no ammo, so he's heading home too. So that guy needs 1 more hit. That guy needs 2 more hits. I guess we'll just leave everybody where they are and see how it goes. Let's go left to right this time. All right, so flank attack here. Ooh, that's another hit. But he is... Oh, no, I got to roll for the jam. Hold on. So even the attack goes through and that guy's dead. Odd, it doesn't. And either way, I'm out of ammo. So this is a pretty important roll. Just need an even... Oh, that's kind of cocked where we roll it. There we go. Hey, the same 8. All right, so this guy is destroyed, but he's out of ammo. So he will head away in a second. All right, and Red Leader... He's also out of ammo. He did get another hit, but it's not huge odds that the guy will die. Oh, engine. Never mind. He's dead. Yeah, I love these Stukas. They just fall out of the sky once their escorts leave them. All right, so yeah, both those guys are going to head home next time. And let's see if he can get the finishing shot. He's on the tail. Ooh, double. Oh, no, that's right. Oh, actually, no, this is great. So how double hit works with a jam is even if you roll the odd, the first hit is only canceled and the second hit goes through no matter what. So here, since he only needed one hit, I don't need to resolve it. He's already dead. All right, but they're all out of ammo. I mean, we're doing great. I think I'm just going to head home and give him the chance. But I do need to draw. Uh-oh. We got an ambush. I need to go review how this works. Okay, with an ambush, I'm going to get attacked, and it has a priority for who gets attacked. First, it's a section that has lost contact. Me breaking them, it means there aren't any. Then it's an individual fight if it's lost contact, so I'll roll to see which of these it is. And then if none of that applies, then it's in the bomber area. So actually, my bomber people are safe. All right, so we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll reroll. So that's, oh man, this low ammo dude just has no luck. And we'll bring him over here. And the Luftwaffe advantage card. So it's a head-on pair. And clear or haze only. So if it's an escort station, they have to be in the sun. Otherwise, it's just automatic. Oh, so replace the rote with a swarm. So that means it's 4 people and they're tailed. So it's not surrounded this time. It's just a billion enemies behind me. All right. Fantastic. What maneuver do I want to do? Evade won't really help very much. And I can't do a slip because it needs to be a section because like 2 of them stay in front and 1 goes behind. So we're going to try for the hard turn to get them in front of us and maybe pass each other by. And let's see. So it is a single hurricane. And we didn't get a turn icon, so the turn didn't work. These guys do reduce down to 3, but we take our first hit. I think we're probably going to lose another plane here. Okay, took a fuselage hit. Let's go ahead and roll for it. Need a 7 or higher. Nope. All right, well, that was quick. That ambush did go well, so this guy goes into the fuselage fate track. And yeah, we've done enough. Things are getting hairy, so these guys are going to return to base instead of chasing. So there we go with them. And then we all lose fuel. Well, I guess green's out, so there doesn't really matter anymore. Yeah, in the next bomber phase, these people are all going to head home. So there's nobody else to be ambushed, so I think we just stop there. All right, so we already have enough to see what our results are, but I want to find out what happened to my dudes. So let's show you how this works. So you roll on the matching table. So fuselage, it's a hurricane. So I roll, and it's an 11. That's good. So they made it back to the hangar. Nice job. If they'd gotten a crash or fire result, they would then, like the plane is done, but they would then figure out if they bailed out successfully, went to the hospital, or KIA. But yeah, so green 3 makes it back okay. Engine's a little bit hairier. Let's see what happens with that. Uh-oh, a 2. Oh, God, their engine's on fire. Can he get out, or is he dead? Oh, no, he's KIA. Blue leader, no. All right, that's a sad ending to this play. But hey, we broke up the formation and destroyed 2/3 of the Stukas. That's wild. And so we check, like in the actual game, you have like victory points and stuff, and you keep going and level up and everything. So we destroyed 2 or more bombers, and all the others are flying independently. Oh, no Stukas in. Oh, shoot. I misread the results. I was supposed to break them up and not like stay around and destroy them. So leaving these as a group means I don't get victory. Stupid. So I got missed opportunity. What the? No, I did not get ambush. If I'd had 1 more fighter in the fate box, I only had 2. If I'd had 3, then that would have like kind of lowered stuff. Oh, this is so dumb. I easily could have gotten victory. Should have just reminded myself what the heck it was. So there you go. That is nearly the full play for Skies Above Britain. Again, you're just missing the raid track stuff and like trying to catch the bombers to get into this interception mode. And then also you're tracking kills and like, you know, in this case, somebody getting killed in action and a plane getting shot down. And yeah, I'm having a blast with this one. After I play more of the campaign mode, I'll try to do a review of it later this year. But thanks for watching, everybody, and a big thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters. That is J. William F., Pedro Lucas, Steve Wren, Nick Skeen, and Miles. Y'all are awesome, and thanks to all our patrons. Thanks to everybody watching. We'll see you at the next stop.